Thank you. Secretary Newland, in 2022, I passed the STOP Act to stop the illegal export of tribal objects of patrimony, sacred objects. Your budget request does not include any funding to implement the STOP Act. The last time I raised this issue, the Secretary gave me an answer about NAGPRA, but that is not my question. I want to know what your plans are, how you're going to implement the STOP Act, which is current law, and what funding will you use?
Thank you, Senator. And we're very grateful for that bill being passed into law, and we've been working with Indian country on developing regulations as called for in the law in concert with Department of Homeland Security and the State Department and Department of Justice. Our estimate at this time is that that program would be of a similar size and scope as the department's NAGPRA program. Part of the consultation with the regulations is about where we house STOP Act implementation at the department, and what we heard from Indian country is that it would be best housed within the Indian Affairs bureaus. And so we're trying to get to publication of these regulations that would formalize that and allow us to place it in our budget someplace. Senator, I think to get to the heart of your question about the costs to implement this, we estimate that they would be of a similar size and scope as the department's NAGPRA program, given the nature of the work. And then as we get into years of implementation, we'll get a better sense as to the need. I hope that is responsive.
I'm concerned that we're going to put off getting started for another year, and even without funding, this law has seen some success already. So I would just certainly, I'm going to work with my colleagues here on the committee to start trying to identify funding in this fiscal year so that we can get this up and going. Director, so you joined me a couple years ago at the Gallup Indian Medical Center. It is shameful, the condition that facility is in. I know IHS has been working with the Navajo Nation to identify a replacement site. Do you have an update on when a site will be selected, and what is IHS doing to move this forward?
Thank you, Senator. It's good to see you again. Yeah, I've been on a regular basis making contact with the Navajo Nation with respect to a site selection. This is crucial for us to do the planning, appropriate planning for this. In my recent conversation, I'm expecting at any point that the Navajo Nation will complete phase 2 of the site selection for 2 locations that they are working on. So I'm looking forward to that information as we move forward. However, as I think your staff was informed a couple weeks ago, that the situation that we're in at the Gallup Indian Medical Center is absolutely dire. We've actually had to close that facility for 24 hours within the last 30 days and move patients because of a water line, repair of a water line. It's not going to take much more, and I'm not sure it's gotten any better since we were there together. So I appreciate the $66 million that we have appropriated for that. But just as we have completed the last planning, we are looking at $1 billion. Knowing the costs of construction and everything that we're looking at, we're probably looking at least an additional 40% onto that to complete that new facility today.
Well, I look forward to working with you on this. It's long overdue and incredibly important for that portion of Indian country. Secretary Newland, I secured funding in the FY24 appropriations bill for 4 new ballistics testing machines in New Mexico. And that's going to include 1 in Farmington and 1 in Gallup. These machines can help solve gun crimes in neighboring tribal communities as well. So I just want to urge BIA law enforcement to look to partner with the New Mexico Attorney General, who's going to be housing and looking after those new machines, to come up with an agreement so that BIA law enforcement can not spend their time driving to other NIBIN machines. I mean, you know well the challenges of distance and how much time BIA law enforcement spends driving someplace. This is an opportunity for us to turn that around and be able to process evidence fairly close, and then have those BIA officers spending more of their time actually enforcing the law. So would love to work with you on that.
Thank you, Senator. We're absolutely committed to working with you and also the state on making sure we're keeping people safe in their communities and allowing police officers to be police officers.
Amen.